Hi, this is U.S. Senator Rob Portman. Thanks to the International Conservation Caucus Foundation for inviting me to speak with you all today. As co-chair of the Senate ICCF Caucus, I've appreciated working with ICCF on some of the most important conservation issues of the day. This briefing on wildlife trafficking is an example of that. It's a really critical conservation issue that I'm working on from a legislative point of view in Washington in the Congress with another ICCF member, my colleague Senator Chris Coons. It's appropriate for the United States to take a leadership role in this issue of combating wildlife trafficking, because not only is it a practice threatening the extinction of some of our most endangered species, but it also threatens our national security and international stability generally, because billions in profits from the illegal wildlife trade are used to finance other illicit activity. In addition, of course, during this pandemic, we've got to be mindful that reports have also shown that the illegal wildlife trade contributes to the spread of zoonotic diseases, like the coronavirus. I think we took a big step forward in cracking down on wildlife trafficking with the bipartisan End Wildlife Trafficking Act, which became law back in 2016. Senator Coons was the main sponsor of that bill, which I proudly co-sponsored. This legislation created a task force to identify those countries where wildlife trafficking takes place or where trafficked products are sold or transported. The law also requires the task force to develop strategic plans with other countries and partners to address wildlife trafficking in those countries where it's most prevalent. Through coordination between our wildlife and law enforcement agencies, this law has helped lead to the arrest of wildlife traffickers, and it's helped us recover large amounts of poached rhino horn and elephant ivory in particular. Parts of this law are set to expire next year, which is why Senator Coons and I have introduced new legislation called the End Wildlife Trafficking Reauthorization and Improvements Act to reauthorize the task force and its activities and expand what they do. Our legislation expands the work of the task force to include addressing and combating wildlife trafficking that is occurring using online platforms, which is more and more prevalent. And the bill also requires the task force to continue evaluating new technologies that can be used to combat illegal wildlife trade. I'm pleased that the panelists for this briefing today will be addressing these topics. I'm grateful for the support that our bill has received from a wide range of conservation groups, including the ICCF, and I'm looking forward to working with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to get this critical legislation passed so we can build on our successes in fighting the scourge of wildlife trafficking.